thought about like what's important to do. What do we need to land in the great library in this lifetime so we have this great library of value? Like, what do we need? And it's very clear to me that prayer is unbelievably important, right? But not fundamentalist prayer, and not prayer that's not really prayer, but it's, meditation disguised as prayer. And meditation is a going into the first person and a stepping into the inside through the focus on a particular dimension of interiority or on a particular mantra, and a kind of getting quiet and an opening the space and accessing this dimension of true self, which is very beautiful and very important, but insufficient to be alive in the world. And prayer is something else entirely. And it dances with meditation. They're both unbelievably important. And prayer is actually making direct contact with the infinite intimate who knows my name. Right? Does everyone get that sense? I'm making direct contact with the infinite intimate who, as biochemistry and many other vectors discloses to me, the infinite intimate, the infinity of intimacy, right? God, Mat, Geist, Atman is Brahman, the implicate order, Adonai Hu Elohim, right? The great sky, right? The great power, the infinite intimate. God, who is in the infinity of power, who is the infinity of intimacy, who knows my name. Now, here's how I can tell you that you're asleep. I'm not going to mention names, right? Yeah, I'm not going to start listening now. I'm on my phone. I've been around for 10 years. I've heard the word infinite intimate. Stop that! Right? When you hear the word infinite intimate, when I hear the word infinite intimate, you should faint in ecstasy. I should faint in ecstasy. Right? Like, we stop. Right? The infinite intimate knows my name directly and personally. And that's what Modeh Ani, that's what the chant that Krista began with was about. Right? Modeh, I embrace my Ani, my I, before you, because you know me directly. I stand before you directly and personally. You desire me personally. You need me personally. You choose me personally. You recognize me personally. You intended me in the biochemistry. You love, adore me. You need me. That's the experience. So that's prayer. And we won't make it through the meta crisis. We won't create the new world without prayer. And so I'd like to spend real time on prayer. And if I can be just open, last year, a bunch of us hung out together in January, and I got sick after that trip, and I've never quite fully recovered my voice since. And of course, part of it is me. I haven't done the whole list of things you're supposed to do, which I have not done well. But I'd like to really, 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 as the day that Eli and Krista and the gang launch kind of the second level of the community, which I think Eli and Krista is going to be soon. Is that right? Second level of community? Okay, second level of community, okay. So when that happens, I want to start doing prayer, right? I would like to do it twice a week, okay, which means it'll be my time in the morning, something like 7:30. Okay, now of course we have everyday prayer with the community already. Right? That already happens, and we've recorded a lot, and Talia, working with Krista, but Talia's taken the lead, is about to put out 3 oral essays, right? 3 oral essay books, and they're stunning. I just gave 2 of those books, Yvonne and Steph, the early versions of them, right? And there's 3 volumes, and one of them, the 3rd volume, is the intention, the prayer intentions, which are called mystical kavanot, mystical intentions, that we've done on various mornings. So there are 3 big volumes. They're big volumes, but they're not enough, right? First off, they're too big, right? But what we're doing in general with oral essays, we're just trying to get it out. That's part of the oral essays project. But we need to go deeply into prayer. So that's just something that, to go deeply into prayer and to really return prayer to the center of global culture, but not as an obeisance, not even as an obedience, but as a sacred, audacious surrender, where we're at our most powerful, at our most audacious. We are majestic man. We're filled with majesty, with gravitas. And from that place of radical power, right, we're fully surrendered at the same time. So full power and full surrender, and prayer as a fundamental human potency through which we gather. It's the place we gather in intimate communion worldwide because we pray together. And a world that prays together is a world that can stay together, right? And so we need to reclaim prayer, right? We need to reclaim prayer, right? Not prayer to the ethnocentric God, right? Not prayer of self-abnegation, but prayer of tikufot, of the radical humility and radical audacity, meaning I'm so profoundly filled with humility, right? Because I feel you moving through me, and yet I also know that I'm falling into your arms, and that every place I fall into your arms. And that God and the human being are partners. Do you remember Zohar, when you and H, right, did that series of articles, Protest as Prayer, right? Prayer is protest. Prayer is intimate communion. Prayer is surrender. Prayer is erotic merger. Prayer is affirming the dignity of personal need, right? There's so much to prayer, right? And so we actually come together in prayer every morning, and I'd like to join, with your permission, everyone, twice a week. And I started it last year, and then really just got killed by my voice. I got quite sick and never quite recovered. But so prayer is crazy important. Does that make sense, everyone? Learning how to pray. And prayer it's the ultimate act of intimate communion. And you cannot liberate yourself from loneliness unless you pray. I believe that's true. And prayer is art. Art is prayer. So prayer is this multivalenced, multifaceted, but it's the essential human action. It's the sacrificial act of radical intimacy into which we are born. So I want to start prayer. So again, we're already doing prayer every day, right? Yes, thank you. We're already doing prayer every day, but I want to join twice a week. What a beautiful Dharma recapitulation. I read it as it came in last night, and it just made me happy. And you did it as always. It was always just organized and threaded together beautifully. Kirsten and Dorothea, right, Ayelet Chen and Zohar, were not at our board meeting yesterday, which I actually did not know. So I asked for Kirsten and Dorothea, and I was like, where are they? And someone said, oh, birthday party. And they said, really? Birthday party? We're gathering now. What are you doing at a birthday party? I'm like, call on from the birthday party. So of course, everyone has their full autonomy, and everyone can, of course, do whatever they please to do. But when you're in leadership, you're noticed, and the kind of showing up makes a huge difference. So I gave a shout out to Ayelet Chen and to Zohar, and Ayelet Chen is Dorothea, who had her birthday, explains that she was coming, and then we changed the dates, and she didn't get the date changed, and she had already invited everyone, which I super, super appreciated, right, the explanation. It was very sweet. And Zohar, who I didn't know that she wasn't coming, wrote me a beautiful note back. And this is not it, but I just wanted you to catch this. This is why I'm sharing it. It's not about everyone gets to do whatever they want. Everyone's fully free. Everyone's fully autonomous to do obviously whatever they want. Obviously, that's the nature of autonomy. But in communion, when you're in leadership, your showing up matters enormously. So for me not to call, right, Dorothea and Zohar would mean it didn't matter to me that they weren't there. And it didn't matter to all of us. Does everyone get that in Dorothea? I know you got it in Zohar. I know you got it, and you responded with such grace and such beauty that it really just blew my heart open, and I was so deeply appreciative. There's a balance in Cosmos. All right. Yeah, that was fantastic. That was a gorgeous Dharma rap. Rap Dharma, rap Dharma. Who's enjoying kind of this new edition, this new order? And we're starting with Krista and entering to chant, and then we're going to this beautiful recapitulation Dharma. And remember, the recapitulation Dharma is a mystical act. It's not a kind of review. And then we go into a rap. Who likes this new order, starting at 1:45, right? We put a lot of energy and time into and we're still adjusting. We're still tinkering with it. We're still working with it, but we're on the way.